What's up, guys? Keyshawn Tier here, back at you with another new What If. Now, for this one, y'all can just give it 10 likes. This is just kind of experiment What If. I just wanted to see if y'all like this. This is kind of going to be what if Deku was a rogue trooper. If you ever played the game Rogue Trooper or read the comics, which I recommend, reading the comics or look up a video about the lore about it. Basically, a rogue trooper is basically these blue soldiers that was basically trained and pretty much cloned to meant to fight and pretty much win the one-sided war of the new Earth, which their skins are blue, meant to basically adapt to the terrain of the planet, so they don't have to wear suits and stuff, and they have immunity to immune systems. So their immune system is pretty much on point to like all the like stuff they're supposed to face, the face of the new Earth. And it was set like a long time ago, 2000, like 2000 years, you could say. So yeah, but if you know Rogue Trooper, you know Rogue Trooper. But this is going to basically be what if Deku was a Rogue Trooper, you could say. Now, pretty much how would this happen? How would Deku become a Rogue Trooper? And and is he going to be blue? Well, let's start then. So, we're going to start with the Rogue Troopers. Now, we're going to have to change their lore. Now, pretty much the Rogue Troopers didn't get ambushed. Their commander didn't betray them, and they won the war. Now, pretty much after they won the war, this is where pretty much one of the Rogue Troopers was pretty much abducted by the enemy forces, trying to clone them and stuff, and all that. Now, this is where the Rogue Troopers, work together to pretty much try to get back, pretty much a short team try to work back to get the body back, which they can't even get it because they pretty much send the body somewhere else. Now, this is where one of the scientists accidentally type in and sends it to an unknown location, thinking to send it to one of their bases, which they didn't. So this is where one of the bodies of the Blow Troopers, well, no, I'll take it back. This is where pretty much the Rogue Troopers won, and their DNA is pretty much kept in hold. One of the DNAs we sent back to one of the enemy scientists to pretty much have them study it, but it doesn't get sent. It gets sent in Deku's universe. Now, as the genetics and stuff of the Rogue Trooper gets sent to My Hero Academia universe, this is where we're gonna have Inko be one of the scientists who pretty much studies it, right? Pretty much studies it and learns about the Rogue Troopers. Well, learns about the DNA and stuff. This is where she decides to make her own child and add in some of her genetics and DNA. Because let's say Inko can't have a kid. And as she can't have a kid, she pretty much makes her own kid. And adds her genetics. And this is where I'm going to say she pretty much plants the genetics in her. Now, we're going to do a little bit of time skip, and Deku was born. Now, Deku was born, and he has a pretty much twin brother. Whatever name you want to name him, you can name him in the comments, but I'm just going to name him Rex. And I know what you're thinking. Oh, Rex, like Generator Rex? No! I do like Rex, though. He is a good, character. But, no. His name is just Rex. Pretty much, this is where Deku and Rex will be born. Now, their both skins will be blue and stuff. And this is due to the side effects of, having, the Rogue Troopers' DNA with it. Now, their genetics will pretty much be amplified because they already have immunity to system for the new Earth, but now they have immunity system for their Earth, you could say, which they have immune system for their Earth, like any gas stuff, like let's say quirks, any people who have quirks that can, do gas and stuff that can poison you stuff, they will be immune to that shit. Any gas, poisons, shit that can, try to hurt them in their skin, they will be immune to it. But pretty much, this is where Deku was born and stuff, and he will have the blue, the blue skin with the white eyes, and his hair will still be green. I know, green. No other color? Yeah, it's just gonna be green, and his brother hair will be green as well, to show that's Inko's child. Now, as Deku's being born, everything will be the same and stuff. He'll meet Bakugo, and Rex will be there with him too. So Bakugo Bakugo, Deku, and Rex will be good, good friends and all that. This is where Bakugo start getting a quirk, and he changed and stuff. And this is where Inko goes with Deku to the quirk docker and stuff. And this is where pretty much Rex and Deku gets a quirk check, and we're gonna start with Rex first. Rex will be given a quirk. The doctor checked his quirk, and his quirk is pretty much intellect intelligence, which super intellect intelligence, which he's pretty much ahead of everybody. Like, I'm talking about so far ahead that he already, like, he's pretty much the smartest genius in the world. He's a multi-million genius. Like, he's mega genius. And Deku, when he gets his quirk checked, he gets adaptability. Now I know what you're thinking. Oh, he's a rogue trooper and he has adaptability. It seems like you're adding two what ifs together. Well, yeah. Why not? It is a what if. Let's add multiple what ifs together with it. But let's continue. Pretty much this is where, Deku would be like, oh, adaptability, that's cool, Which the doctor would be like, huh. But it look like it's a event adaptability, like you can adapt to anything. Like, you already have a strong immune system, but it's like you can adapt to anything. Like, which this is where a doctor would throw an apple at Deku, and Deku will immediately, at first get hit by it, which Inko will get mad at Doctor, which the doctor says, hold on, let me cook. And he'll pretty much grab the apple again and throw it at Deku, which Deku will immediately catch it and just take a bite out of it. Which this is where the activate of the quirk activates now. Now Deku is adapting to anything. Once he see it once, he can do it. If he sees someone getting cut by that blade, he won't get cut by the blade no more. Think of it like that. Now, this is where, they meet up with Bakugo. Deku says his quirk is adaptability, which, Bakugo says, oh, that's kind of cool, But, not cooler than my quirk, which Deku would be like, yeah, but, I like my quirk. Which, this is where, Bakugo asks what's Rex's quirk, which he says, I have super intelligence. Extra, like, Mega Mind intelligence. Which Bakugo says, oh, so you're like a super nerd. A mega nerd. Which Rex will say, yeah, if you can say it like that. Which Bakugo says, alright, then I'm the one with the explosion quirk. Which, as he's doing his little explosions, this is where Rex will look at Bakugo's quirk and really knows how to help him evolve it and push it to the next level, and says, I know how to make your quirk stronger, Kashan. Which, Bakugo looks at Rex and says, how do you make it stronger then? Which he says, well, do my calculations. Which he will pull out glasses out of nowhere, which Bakugo says, where you get those glasses from? Which he will pretty much says, if you work and, focus on your quirk with the sweat and stuff, you can make it 10 times stronger. It can even make it strong enough that it can blow up buildings or even craters and stuff. Which Bakugo will be like, whoa, for real? Which Rex will say, yeah. Which, this is where Rex and Bakugo will grow a good bond, and Deku too, because with Deku's adaptability, Deku can pretty much be his training partner, and Rex can be his, like, his coach, and also his, like, guy to help him improve his quirk even better. So we're going to do a little bit time skip now. Now we're going to have them in middle school now, and this is where we're pretty much going to be, like, yeah, all the way to, like, the start of the My Hero Academia thing. This is where pretty much Deku Rex is sitting beside each other, and Bakugo's right in the front. And everything's so same. This is where the teacher walks in. It pretty much says, like, hey, I got some applications for doctor and all that stuff, but we know the truth is y'all want to become heroes, and throws the paper up, which everybody's excited and stuff, right? Now this is where there's the teacher says, oh, there's 3 applications for Deku, Rex, and Bakugo. Which, everybody looks at them and says, oh yeah, they have a chance. They have a solid chance. Like, Deku, I don't know, but yeah, I think he has a solid chance with his quirk. which they say, hey, maybe his quirk will evolve more. Now, this is where Bakugo and Deku and Rex will be walking home together, and going under the bridge, to go to Deku's mom's house to pretty much eat the favorite meal that she makes for him. Now, as they're going, this is where Sludge Villain will come in and pretty much try to block their path and says, I need one of y'all buddy who will give it up. Which this is where Bakugo says, hey yo, pause. Which this is where Rex will calculate what's the best scenario to pretty much have the Sludge Villain caught without without getting hurt. This is where he will see Deku and Bakugo, in which this is where he will tell Bakugo to blast Deku forward to pretty much be a distraction. Which this is where Bakugo will blast Deku to go forward to the Sludge Villain to attack him. Which this is where Deku will be, engulfed by the Sludge Villain. Now, as the Sludge Villain is trying to, put the sludge in, Deku's body and stuff, this is where the Sludge Villain immediately starts to feel pain and hurt. It starts to get attacked. Now, how's he getting attacked? It's due to Deku's adaptability in his already immune system body. Pretty much, let's say his cells, his white cells, are pretty much in a point of like, they're dangerous to their cells. So if any germs or anything trying to attack Deku's body, they will instantly die. Especially as such villains that's trying to go inside your body and take over everything. Oh yeah, those white cells are going to kill that subject. I know it doesn't make sense, but work with me here. This is where pretty much as he's doing that, the sludge villain immediately starts screaming and feeling the pain. And this is where he pretty much tried to get out of Deku's body, and by the time he gets out of Deku's body, he's already half being up and already damaged and shit. This is where he'd be like, what the hell, kid? What are you? What's wrong with your body? Which Deku begins to spit out the rest of the stuff and be like, I got that immune system, baby. And this is where All Might will come in, and finally does the short smash and sends the Sludge Villain, splat on the wall. Now, this is where Deku, Rex, and Baku will, be fanboying and saying, oh my god, it's All Might, we're a big fan of your work and stuff. We like, I can't believe you're here, which All Might be like, aha, yes, And this is where, Deku and Bakugo and Rex will ask for an autograph from their books, which All Might will give him an autograph. And this is where Deku will say, we can't wait to see you to the UA High. We're going to, train and get ready to go there, which All Might be like, okay. He'd be like, ah, good. He'd be like, I can't wait to see y'all there. And this is where All Might will collect the subject and pretty much go. Now, later, this is where Deku will head home, and this is where Inko would not be at home. She'll be in her lab facility. Well, no, I'm going to say Inko will be home, but she'll be down in the basement in her lab facility. I'm going to say she has a big lab facility because I'm going to say Inko is a very smart scientist, and she has that money. Now, this is where, Baku will be up there, and this is where, Deku will go downstairs, and, Inko will come upstairs and says, welcome home, sweethearts, and then all that stuff. And, she'll make the meal and that's it. And then, pretty much, have them dinner and stuff. Now, I'm going to say the next day, before, Deku, Bakugo, and Rex head to the beach and do their training, this is where Deku will go down to the basement to see if his mom's there. And this is where he will find these guns. He will find a gun, a helmet, and a backpack. Now, this is where he will look at the stuff, and he will get these weird memories. Now, these are the weird memories I'm going to say of our main protagonist, the Road Trooper. Pretty much, he will get these memories of an army of war he's fighting. He's shooting, and then the weapon is pretty much speaking to him, saying, and I'm going to say this different one. He's going to say, hey, Fobs, plant me down so I can shoot him. And basically, the gun would be shooting and stuff. This is where his helmet would be like, put me down so I can hack in the ship. And pretty much, the backpack will pretty much say, hey, plant these traps down before it. And he will start getting these memories. Now, this is where his head will start hurting and stuff. And pretty much this is where the chips reactivate. Now, Deku doesn't have a chip in his neck. Don't get me wrong. because he was born regularly. But he does have the location of like the memories somehow. Now this is where he picks up the weapon. And Inko is coming down saying, "Oh, Mizuku, I see these weapons." Which this pretty much Deku will hold the weapon, the rifle gun, and pretty much says, "It's like I used this before." In which Shiro pretty much says, "Well, I wanted to give it to you as a gift, a part of your quirk, because it seems like it works well with your quirk." I'm guessing, which Deku will smile and be like, "Thanks, Mom," and give her a hug and stuff, and pretty much take the rifle and put it by his side, have like the bag on his back, and put the helmet on, and pretty much go with Rex to get training at the beach. Now let's do a little skip, and I'm pretty much gonna have I'm pretty much gonna say how strong in I'm gonna say coming in first is pretty much Deku because his adaptability and stuff, and plus with his upgrades of the stuff he got from his mom. I'm gonna say he's in first. Bakugo's in second because due to the training and getting helped by Rex of his calculations and stuff, he's in second, and Rex is in third with the training because Rex has more brains than bronze, but since Deku is training with him and Bakugo, he's in third and he got a little bit more strength. Now, this is where we gonna skip to the UA, and this is where Deku, Rex, and Bakugo is walking in there, pretty much excited, pretty much talking and saying like, seeing who's gonna get first and all that. And this is where they go in. Now, first they do the written exam and all that. This is where everybody's ace it, Deku ace it and stuff, but Rex will be in first, and he will actually get an early recommendation due to his super intelligence. But of course, he doesn't he turns it down and he wants to do the rest of the test because it was basically telling him like, oh, you don't have to do the rest of the test. You pretty much can just go home and rest. Like, we see you tomorrow. Which he says, nah, I want to do the rest of the test. Now this is where we get to the robot parts, and this is where they're waiting for the go, but Deku already knows that when it's villains on the loose and they gotta save the day, there's never a time limit. And this is where Deku start going and Bakugo start going and Rex start going. Now this is where Deku would pretty much have his weapon and starts firing. Well, pretty much this is where he pretty much start firing at the machinery left and right. And this is where the chip reactivates and pretty much it will talk to Deku. Now, this is where the chip would say, "Oh, Fives, you're alive." Which pretty much Deku would be like, "Fives? Who's Fives?" Which he says, "You, silly." But anyways, now it's not the time. I see you got some robots you gotta kill. These weird things. Let's shoot them together. Which he said, just aim down and I shoot them down. Which this is where Deku started doing, and he starts shooting the robots left and right. This is where the Gunner says to lay him down on a specific good spot so he can start shooting robots while he can do some other stuff. This is where Deku starts, putting Gunner down and start running, and pulling out his weapon and start cutting robots in a beautiful way. And as the robots are trying to hit him and stuff, he's just already in adapt mode. So he's already cutting robots, adapting, laying down traps, destroying robots left and right. Like a soldier, you could say, like a super soldier, a natural. And All Might's looking at it and says, "Huh, interesting." Now, as that's happening, we're gonna switch to Rex. Now, Rex is pretty much on his own, and he has, like I said, he's a mega mind, a super genius. So he already thought about this. He like I said, and I'm gonna say some people can use math to see in the future. He's pretty much doing that. He already did the calculations and he already knows who's going to be in first, who's going to be in second, and who's going to be in third. Now, he already knows he can be in first, but he wants to be in second because he wants his brother to be in first. And this is where he's pretty much destroying some robots, just destroying some robots, knowing the stuff. And he already knows the big 0 point robot's going to come out soon. So he pretty much destroy all the robots. And, he pretty much just takes his time and relax. And he pretty much just says, "All right, I'm done." And he pretty much goes. And this is already he already knows his brother's gonna have to save Uraraka because, like I say, he already foresaw it. He's just gonna go and just take a rest. Now, Bakugo's doing his own thing, destroy robots and stuff, but he has more bigger explosions due to the training and the prep training from Rex and Deku. Now, this is where everything goes the same. This is where Deku thinks he has enough points, and this is where the 0 point robot comes out. Now, this is where everybody's running away and stuff, and Deku will see Uraraka as, asking for help. And this is where he will, get in the serious, he'll make a serious face and, get in that lock-in mode. And he'll pretty much grab his gun, and he'll pretty much turn around and shoot and have his backpack pretty much shoot a lot of landmines on the ground for the 0 point robot when it's stepped on. So this is where he'll pick up Uraraka and be like, and pretty much carry her to safety and put her in a safe spot and be like, wait right there. And he'll pretty much wait for the 0 point robot to pretty much walk on the landmine traps. Now, as it walks on the landmine traps, this is where the big explosion will happen and blow up one of the 0 point robot legs and sends it falling back. This is where Deku will pretty much run and climb up before it falls, and pretty much will take off his helmet, which his helmet will pretty much say, let me hack into him. I think I can pretty much do some hacks. And put his helmet on, top of the 0 point robot, chest. This is where helmet will be pretty much hacking into it and pretty much will shut it down from the inside. This is where Deku will pick up back his helmet and jump off, and the robot will just crash down and get shut down. Now, that's pretty much the end of that. And Deku pretty much will walk back to Uraraka, ask her if she's alright, which she'll pretty much be blushing a little bit, says, yeah, I'm alright. But where's your shirt at? Which Deku will pretty much look, and he realizes he doesn't have a shirt, be like, I guess I don't need it. Anyways, I think I like it without no shirt. And pretty much, Deku will pretty much walk away. And she will ask what's his name, which he will pretty much says, my name is Mizuka Midoriya. Or you can just call me Deku. And he pretty much walk away, which she pretty much didn't get the chance to say her name to him. Now, we're going to do, I say, a week pass, and this is where the mail will come in. Now, this is where Bakugo will get his mail, and he will knock on the Deku's door and says, hey, I got my mail invitation, which they said they got theirs too, and they all start opening it one by one. First was Bakugo, which Bakugo sees his heat, and it's All Might. All Might says, congratulations, Bakugo. You have reached in third place with the final exams, which Bakugo says, damn it, who got in second? Which Rex opened up, and it says he got in second place, and a recommendation. And this is where Deku opens his up, and it's All Might, and it says he got in third place. I mean, first place. Which, Bakugo will be mad, but he's happy for them. Now, this is where they start heading to the UA. And as they're heading to UA, Bakugo is pretty much yelling at Deku, saying, you need to put on a shirt. Both of y'all. Why do y'all both not have a shirt on? Which, this is where Deku says, I don't know. A shirt is just too much. Maybe they might have a suit for us where we can, have a shirt on. But right now, we don't need it. It just feels more of a waste to have one on. And Bakugo will be like, all right. Better hope the teachers don't say nothing about it. Or any girls say nothing about it. Now, this is where they start walking and stuff and going in. And as they're going in, this is where they go in the classroom. And they'd be the first ones there. Now, they sit down and stuff. Bakugo will lay his feet up and all that. And this is where everybody else start coming in. And this is where, half the girls... Well, no, I'm going to say people is already there. And Bakugo just go in and takes a seat. This is where Deku and Rex will be in. And this is where the girls will be blushing. And someone will have a nosebleed of seeing how rip Deku and Rex is. Because they don't have no shirt on. This is where they pretty much covered up their face and said, why y'all don't have a shirt on? Which Bakugo says, see, I told you. Which Deku would be like, listen, it's all part of our quirk, our genetics. We don't need a shirt. It's more of a hassle. Which they will understand a little bit, but they will still be like, all right. Now this is where Azar will wake up and be like, all right, quiet down, kids. Everybody go meet me at the. Everybody go meet me at the yard. Meet me at the yard. We're not going to that stupid thing, that invitation or something. We're gonna test out your quirks because if y'all want to be in here, I gotta see what y'all got. And if one of y'all lows right behind, y'all will be, pretty much sent home and kicked out, expelled. Which, everybody be scared, except for Rex, Deku, and Bakugo, because they built different. Now this is where they will get dressed in their gym uniforms, and Deku will put on his gym pants, but not a gym shirt. And as they're in the gym, they will see Rex and Deku, and they see they're ripped. And Bakugo's a little ripped, but not as ripped as them. Which they'd be like, "Damn, what kind of workouts y'all do be doing?" And which Deku will be like, "Oh, just the usual push-ups, sit-ups, lifting up, 100, 250 dumbbells." Which he'd be like, 250, and he was like, "Yeah, ain't that regular?" Which I think Todoroki will be like, "No, that's not normal." Which he says, "Huh? Oh well." And they just continue to just walk out, which Baku will be like, "Don't worry about them. They're a little weird, but they're good people." Now this is where they will go out and pretty much um Deku and Rex and Bakugo and everybody else will be doing things. I'm gonna say Deku would be in first with some things, and Bakugo will be in second with some things, and Rex will be like in third, and then Uraraka will be in first with the ball throw because her ball throw is infant. But other than that, everybody passed. Azara says it was all just a ruse, just to make y'all go extra. To work extra harder. Now as that's happening, pretty much, this is where the next class. I'm gonna say the next day. Pretty much, this is where the next class starts, and this is where All Might will come in, which everybody's excited and stuff and all that. And this is where All Might will pretty much says they're gonna be doing the hero versus villain thing, and they tell everybody to go get their super suits ready and all that. And this is where Deku and Rex will pretty much have their own superhero suit. I'm gonna start off with Rex first. Rex has a science. Well, pretty much Rex will have like a goggles on top of his head, have like a science coat, but like a nice good fitting science coat. Well, I'm gonna say a science jacket, a nice good fit science jacket, like a cool like science jacket with a zip up and with a zipper where he can zip up and zip down. And he would pretty much have like, some cool soldier pants on with boots. Which for Deku would just have like a unique platoon outfit. He would have like a unique platoon soldier outfit with a jacket. A jacket, well, yeah, a air breathing jacket thing where he can breathe through it, and pretty much have the same platoon soldier pants and stuff. And he would have his like backpack and helmet and his rifle right beside him. Now this is where pretty much Deku and them will head out, and they will start doing the teams. Now the teams will be a little bit different since Rex is here. Instead of Uraraka and Deku, is gonna be Uraraka. Like all the other teams will be the same, except for Uraraka. Uraraka will be on some other team, and the only difference is gonna be Deku and Rex will be on the same team, and Bakugo, and you know what? Yeah, Bakugo and Uraraka will be on the same team. So Deku and Rex will be on the heroes team. Uraraka and Bakugo will be on the villains team. So pretty much this is where they would have the camera watching them and stuff and see what they would do. This is where Deku would pretty much talk to Rex and be like, all right, what's the plan? Which this is where his helmet, his bag and stuff would be talking and be like, yeah, what is the plan, Rex? Which Rex would be like, oh, so they can talk. So are they like sentient? Which Deku was explaining like, no, they're like soldiers from a different universe, you could say, or a different time where a war was won and stuff. And they told me that I'm 5 and I was a well-known soldier that got revenge for them. Well, got revenge for them and stuff. Which Rex would be like, interesting. Alright, well, I think we can use them to do some things. Which, this is where, they will have a plan. Now, this is where Deku will start running in the building. And this is where Rex will start, climbing up the building with a knife. He would just use, like, a unique, like, knife he made, like a razor sharp knife that he can stab in the wall and climb up. And he would start climbing up from the side of the wall while Deku would head inside the building. Like, head inside the building forward and do the regular way. Now, as he's heading inside the building stuff, this is where Deku would lay down specific traps. Like, I'll say stun concussion grenades. Like, landmines that will stun him. And set them, like, around everywhere. Now, this is where Bakugo will be setting explosions. And Deku will be like, look like my brother was right. He is coming after me. And this is where you will hear explosion. And then as you hear explosions, this is where Bakugo will be like, found you, Deku. And does an explosion right through the wall to walk right through it. Now, as he's walking right through it, he will step on one of the stun landmines and be like, what the? And he'd be like, caught you. And this, all you hear is, which Bakugo be like, fuck, and start cussing and shit, like start ranting and cussing. Which this is where Deku will grab Bakugo and pretty much slam his face to the ground. Well, slam his face to the ground. And pretty much Bakugo still can't see anything, and pretty much this is where Deku will restrain Bakugo. And pretty much says, that was easy. Which Bakugo will be like, no fair. You're cheating. Be like, which Deku says, it's not cheating. It's just all part of my quirk and how to use it. Which he'd be like, bullshit. And just pretty much is still like, having his eyes closed. This is where Uraraka, is pretty much waiting for, Bakugo to come back and stuff. And doesn't know, when he's going to come back. And this is where Rex will be right behind her. And she's not even knowing he's right behind her. And he pretty much would touch the bomb. And they pretty much win. And pretty much the heroes win that and the villains lose that one. Now, this is where I'll say we're going to end it right here. And then we're going to go do the hero rescue thing arc in the next video. But if you like, please give this to 20 likes. Let's see, if this will go up to 20 likes. I will make a part 2 of this. But yeah, this is what if Deku was a rogue trooper. And yeah, I hope y'all guys like it. My name is Keyshawn Chia, and peace out.
Looks like you lost another one.